Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Mrs. Kelly, and I am the owner and creator of Kelly Crew TV. I am a 5-year New York-based flight attendant for a major U.S. airline, and I would say I'm pretty qualified to give you all some tips and tricks that I've learned over my time here as a flight attendant. So if this is something that you're interested in, all you got to do to become a part of this crew is go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on your post notification bell just so you are aware every time I post. However, my posting schedule is I do post a video every Sunday midday. So just to be on your toes, give you a lookout, okay? Keep on the lookout. So as we go into today's video is going to be about tips and tricks with navigating the airport as a flight attendant, okay? Now, we're gonna jump right into it, right? We're gonna jump right into it. But keep in mind that this is my opinion. This is not the opinion of the airline I work for or anyone else. This is things that I've noticed for myself, my point of view, that I'm giving you tips on. But without further ado, come on, crew. Let's get it done, okay? So let's just jump right into it. The first thing is getting through TSA. You show up to the airport. You think you've given yourself enough time. You don't have pre-check. You don't have clear. You get to the TSA line and it is wrapped around through the door. What do? It's literally a logistical nightmare. So once you become a flight attendant, that don't even matter. You know what I mean? You don't even have to join that line, okay? So as a flight attendant, you get the privilege, because it's not a requirement or anything like that. You get the privilege of known crew member. That's what we call KCM. Yep, KCM. It's known crew member, okay? So what we do, well, I guess I wouldn't necessarily tell you what we do, but it cuts security essentially. So you scan your badge, you do the necessary steps that you need to do, and you just go right through, right? Obviously, with every privilege, there comes stipulations, there comes regulations, and if you break any of those regulations for any reason at all that, just goes against, then you do run the risk of losing that ability to go through KCM, right? But on the other hand, so I guess for me, I have pre-check, but the only reason I have pre-check is because I have global entry. And if y'all are keeping up, then you would know I live in a different country. So having global entry makes the most sense for me. So I don't necessarily have to go through KCM. And I mean, I can't go through KCM when I'm going home anyway. So having KCM makes a big difference, okay? Especially if you're in a rush. If you're in a rush, going through or trying to go through pre-check, and I mean, pre-check is fast, but pre-check is still a line where you have to take your stuff up. Well, not all your stuff, but you have to put your stuff up and it's still a process, is what I'm saying. So when you become a flight attendant, you then get the ability to go through KCM, right? And not just when you're working, but even when you're not working. Even if you're traveling for leisure, you get the chance to go through KCM. Obviously, your family can't go through with you. It's literally a privilege to be able to go through it, okay? So just keep that in mind. Don't mess that up. The next part of it is airport food, right? Most airports, whether you're in uniform or not, they will give you the airport discount if you're buying food. All you got to do is show them your badge, show them that you actually work for the company, work for the airport, you know what I mean? So that's another thing to consider. Granted, airport food is rather expensive. It's more on the expensive side, simply because it's the only option you have. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're going to buy the food. So it is on the more expensive side. However, because we work for an airline, you do get the airport discount. And obviously it differs from store to store within the airport. It also differs from airport to airport. So what you get here say you get 20% discount here, you might get 10% at the next airport. You know what I mean? But just keep that in mind. And that's why a lot of times you see flight attendants with, 3 and 4 bags. We need our lunch bag. I have a big lunch bag because I pack my food. But I will say that there are times, depending on the airport, where I want that food. You know what I mean? That's just what I feel for. And being a big example is San Francisco, where I love buying the Vietnamese food in the airport in San Francisco. But I'm not doing that every day because that's $20 each time. If you catch my drift. Give or take a few dollars because of the discount. But that's another perk that we get as flight attendants and pilots, where you have the opportunity to get a discount. Who doesn't love a discount? Who doesn't love it? If the dollar store gave discounts, I would take that too. And that's just the truth, okay? So the next thing, also, I'm just looking down. It's my iPad. I have my notes on here just so I'm not getting carried away. So the next thing is family travel, right? Why? Yes, obviously we do this so that we get the chance to fly for free at times, fly at a discounted rate. But for me, a big part of why I do this is so that my family gets the opportunity to, enjoy these things too. To, just live and be able to see different parts of the world. Like, I'll give you guys an example. A big part of it for me, a couple years ago, I was able to take my dad to Mexico, which was his first vacation, you know what I mean? So he's been to the States to visit me and, hang out and stuff like that. But that was his first vacation. We weren't going to just hang out and whatever, go shopping or anything like that. We actually flew to Mexico where we were at an all-inclusive. He was able to just get up whenever he wanted to, eat whatever he wanted to. He went parasailing for the first time. You know what I mean? For me, that's a huge part of why I do what I do. And even my mom is able to go and visit my brother whenever she wants. So all she got to do is hop on a plane. And, just whatever it is. Even my son, my sister, my whole family, my whole family benefits from the fact that I'm a flight attendant, and I love that. I love that I'm giving my family the opportunity to travel and see new things and see the world. And, there's so many different possibilities. I think, 2 years ago? My family and I went to Costa Rica. You know what I mean? How nice is that? You know what I mean? Those tickets aren't cheap. And to be able to give everybody this opportunity, you know what I mean? I keep saying opportunity, but for everybody to have a chance to just see a whole different country that we probably wouldn't have gone out of our way to see, it's amazing. I love that. I absolutely love that. Now the other part of it is, I kind of touched on already, but is pre-check and global entry. So I realized the other day, I was working with a crew, and I realized that if you have global entry as a flight attendant, you actually get priority over a flight attendant who is also going through customs but does not have global entry. Okay, let that sink in. And that's obviously not to say, run and get global entry if whatever, because it's not free. But I will say, most airlines, they do reimburse you for that. So if you choose to go and get it, or even if you choose to pay for pre-check, a lot of airlines, they do reimburse you for that. So you don't have to worry and say, oh my God, I gotta go spend more money to get pre-check or whatever. Most of them, you get your money back anyway. For my airline specific, I did get my money back. Okay, so let me just point that out. And then if you are going through KCM and you get random meaning you got to do additional screening, you just go through TSA pre-check. So technically you don't really need pre-check, but if you're not working, then you'd have to get pre-check, to do on your own time, if that makes sense, right? So yeah, I think that was pretty much it with navigating, or like the, I'm just trying to make sure I checked on I touched on everything. Yeah, this video is a little all over the place, but bear with me, guys. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm touching on all the things. So we touched on TSA, we touched on the food, we touched on family travel, we touched on pre-check versus global entry. Well, I guess not really versus, but I guess I'll just explain now. So TSA pre-check versus global entry. I don't think it makes sense for you to pay for TSA pre-check. It makes sense for you to pay for global entry. Why? Global entry gives you pre-check. So if you, I think when I did it, it was $100 for global entry. It comes with TSA pre-check. So it makes no sense for you to buy pre-check and then buy global entry. Just buy global entry and then you're good to go, okay? Just get global entry and you're good to go. Now, I don't really know much about Clear, but I do know that if you have Clear, then you actually cut in front of the TSA pre-check line. I don't know how much Clear costs. I don't know the process for Clear, but that's also something that you can look into, because Clear is actually popping up at more airports now compared to when they first started. But again, if that's something that you're interested in doing, then you can look into that and do that as well, okay? So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Just a few tips and tricks, or not tips and tricks, but benefits of being a flight attendant that people may not think about. And if you guys have any questions at all about anything that I touched on, whether it's, you know, global entry versus pre-check, whether it's, you know, food discounts or anything in the airport, which there's a whole bunch of discounts based on the airport as well. If you want me to talk any more about any of these topics specific, just go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's your girl, Mrs. Kelly. Welcome to Kelly Crew TV, and if you're interested in becoming a part of this crew, becoming a crew member, go ahead and just hit that subscribe button. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button down below. Also, I should point out that I do have a vlog channel where I do, you know, lifestyle, day in the life, week in the life, not really day, about an off-duty flight attendant. There are times where I do include like layover content, just obviously my point of view and vlog style. So if you're interested in that, you can go ahead and check out Rashika Kelly Vlogs here on YouTube as well. And the link for that channel will be down in the description box, so you can go ahead and check it out, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So peace out, and I'll see you guys later.